What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is episode 8 of Staying Insane. Today we talk about girls. Talk about food like always, and get on a bit of a tangent, but I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Gentlemen, welcome back. It's another beautiful Tuesday here in... How are you doing today? I didn't want to give away location, so...
Alright, I'm doing alright. How are you guys doing?
Adam.
Better than my microphone.
Drop that right away.
I'm doing alright. It's a Tuesday. I hate Tuesday. You don't have any energy left over from the weekend, so it's literally just waking up with whatever you slept with, and I don't sleep well, so...
I feel that one for sure.
There you go.
So...
I feel that one for sure.
Alright, tonight we're gonna have, I think, a banger. We're gonna talk about the opposite sex.
Oh boy.
So, first one I thought of, and this is something that I always get roasted from my brother and my sister about, but what is the first thing you notice when you see a girl?
Ooh, first thing you notice?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean... Adam?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I didn't say anything.
You wanted to.
Oh,
I don't
man.
look at other girls.
You can talk about Libby, it's all good. Or bleep that name.
No, it doesn't matter. I've said it.
So for
Yeah, Jeremy.
For sure, like eyes, I would say.
Okay. Is there any reason why? Is it just like the first thing you glance at?
I don't even know. Just in general, like.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
Face for sure. Like that's always like when you meet somebody, you look at their face first, and eyes are usually where that ends up. You know, you meet somebody, you talk them eye to eye. That
I mean, unless they're short, and then you're kind of looking down at everything.
Yeah, that's every day of my life, but
yeah. 6'2" gang.
6'3".
8'10".
Adam.
So, Adam, what's the first thing you noticed then?
Well, I just Googled girls, and I'm on images, and I'm just scrolling through just to see what really pops out.
That's probably not the best thing to do.
Well, first thing I noticed is James Charles is in here, which is not a girl.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Yeah, it's a dude.
Wait, is he one of those
feminine dude
guys that
He's
do
one of
makeup things?
Makeup guru. Yeah.
The sisters.
I mean, honestly, like, just...
Which, I'm fine with James Charles. I think he can do a lot of good, but I think he's also fucked up a lot, too. So.
Yeah, but he's young. He's
aside.
still young. He's like 20 or something, but... Yeah, I agree. I'm totally cool with him. I think he does good. I think he makes mistakes. But then again, when you're broadcasting your whole life online, who doesn't? I mean, again, I don't want to be this stupid, like, stereotypical, like, face. But genuinely, like, that is usually the first thing I look. Like, I know we have this friend who we were. This is a funny story that relates to it.
Okay.
We were showing him pictures. I wasn't showing him. My friend Tyler was showing this person pictures on Instagram one time, and he goes, "Oh, out of these people, who do you think is the hottest?" And he literally said back, "How the hell am I supposed to tell? All I can see is their face." It's just terrible, but it just is hilarious for it's just stereotypical, like what you would think guys are.
Yeah.
He was joking, but it was still funny. I really don't look at that in people. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't notice it. Like, if someone has bazungas bigger than my entire head, it's not gonna be like, oh, didn't even see them. I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay, that's a lot. But I'm not gonna ever just... I keep flicking over there. I'm not ever gonna just be like... Like, I'm not doing what that guy said and just walking around, like, analyzing through tit or ass.
Fair
It's
enough.
just like, I'll notice face and personality. Like, if someone walks and they have, like, a resting bitch face, I'll usually notice that right away. Or I'll be like, oh, they're pissed, don't speak to them. Or like, they seem like they just like life. Weird. Maybe I should get advice. Or like, you know, that kind of thing. And then I think, honestly, next is probably hair. I look at hair a lot. Because that's a real good judge of person. Because if their hair's like real, like, like super straight and it's like all together and like you're like, wow, they clean well and they're like really well kept. But if it's like, wow, they haven't showered in 9 weeks, then it's like,
yeah, that's a good judgment.
Guy or girl, that applies to both.
Yeah, I did not think of that. I guess I do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I do that too. Now that you mention that, I didn't even think about that. But that is a very good, like, if they keep their hair up, that means, you know, they kind of have, they give themselves a lot of self-worth, I guess.
Yeah, and then makeup. Like, I'm like, is this actually the person I'm seeing? Or is this a cake someone has battered and covered in icing, and that is the product I'm seeing?
That is a big changer. Like the difference you'll see in somebody between makeup and no makeup.
I'm fine with makeup, but if you could take like a paint scraper and go, and it'll like cake up on it, that's like, I'm just like, just be yourself, you know? Like, I'm not beautiful. I've worn makeup for stage shows, you know, when I was Donkey, but that's it. And so, you know, like, guys, we just accept when we're ugly. The women, let's get some equality in here. Everybody just accept.
But then again, you could say the same thing for beards with men, because I will let you know, I look like a 14-year-old when I don't have a beard.
I really want one, so I can hide my fat neck.
Adam.
Oh my, I love you, buddy. I love you so much. Don't ever change.
I won't.
So,
how about you?
What I look for first when I meet a girl, and you guys will probably think this is weird, but I look at their hands and their nails specifically. And I think the reasoning behind it is I work with my hands for a living. Like right now, my hands, you probably can't see it, but they're pretty beat up from working and stuff like that. So I know if they take care of their hands, then they probably take pretty good care of themselves.
Yeah. Like the hair thing.
I've seen a couple of girls that have like really shitty nails. I understand nails are expensive and everything, but not only that, like their whole fingers are all gnarly and stuff. They look like mine for no goddamn reason. So I think that's I think that's the first thing I look at, and then of course I move up to the face and eyes, and hair's a good topic for it. Funny enough, Austin actually does that, but he grew up in a hair salon, so he knows what good hair looks like versus bad hairs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure his mom would absolutely roast him if he brought home some girl that didn't have good hair. So.
Oh man.
But so I think the next thing I thought of was the next thing I thought of, obviously there's a lot of difference between men and women. What are some major ones that you think are kind of weird? I'll do an example. For example. Wow, I'm batting 1,000 today, boys. Anyways, so like the other day I was shaving. I trimmed my beard and stuff up like that, and I was Donald Ducking it, like for real Donald Ducking it. And I don't feel like a lot of girls would do that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So valid.
Is there any sort of like differences that stick out majorly that you guys can think of that obviously isn't like super like degrading or anything like that? Because just face value, there's a lot of things I could think of that people probably wouldn't like me to say. So
I don't have one off the top of my head. Adam, do you have one?
I think just how much usually, it's like I don't want to call it a stereotype because it's just a thing. I mean, there are definitely girls that don't, but overall, their ability to care so much, like 24/7 about what everyone thinks of them and how they come across to people, I could never do it. Like, yeah, I care about what people think of me, but I'm not gonna like hide a burp. Like if I'm on a live stream, I'm not gonna be like mute. I'm just gonna be like, where are we going next? You know, or like if I'm like blowing my nose, I'm not gonna be like, I'm just full on gonna be like, you know, like I can't even fathom. Or like to do one's get ready process every morning for like even an hour is a lot for me. Like I could sit in the shower for an hour, but if I'm like looking at my face and like putting sticks in my eyes, like I just can't. Or like how much they'll put themselves through things just to feel like they're looking great. Because I think genuinely, like this has happened with every girl I've dated. Usually, for like the first couple months, you only see them with makeup, right? And then there comes a time where they're like, you know, I'm okay without makeup in front of him. And then like they'll look different, and it's like, whoa. I was like, because I've always done it. They always feel really self-conscious, but this is gonna get really cheesy. But I'll always be like, holy crap, like you're really beautiful. And they're always like, I mean, stop. And but it's like, no, for real. Like you look different, but it's like crazy. Like I've never seen you like this, but you're still like great. So like really, I don't think it's necessary, but the amount though, like heels, I don't understand heels. Never once have I been like, yeah, I love it. Wearing these heels for 4 hours, glad I did it. Great decision. They're always like, oh my god, I cannot wait to get home. I want to kill someone. It's like, well, just like wear normal shit. Like I'm not gonna be like, she doesn't have heels on. Not even gonna speak to her. Ugh. You know, it's like just, it's just the amount they'll go to be like womanly. It's just like, huh. You know, like I don't care if a girl burps in front of me. I honestly will be like, this is weird. I dated a girl like this once. Burped, farted like a normal person. For some reason, that was more attractive to me than to the girls who like don't, because it just dehumanizes
the comfort level. Like
yeah, it was just like
the honesty. Like they're themselves. Yes, they do that. They are human.
Yeah.
Get over it. It is what it is. You know that's the other thing.
I don't know about you two boys, but I did kind of the same thing. Like, the woman I bought the house for, we dated for 7 years or something like that. The first entire year, I didn't fart in front of her. I remember like going over her house for like hours. I would like be on the ride home, like my stomach fucking hurts.
yeah. And I've done that too, honestly. I've done that too, honestly.
It's kind of the same boat, but
I mean you know. I feel like guys warm up to that way quicker than girls. They're like,
100%.
Listen, I'm gonna do it. Get over it. Like that seems, I don't know, that's kind of what I've gathered, at least.
Yeah. When I say it's more attractive also, I don't want like the creeps of the internet being like every time she farted I was like, It wasn't like that kind of thing. It was just like a comforting type, like you guys were saying. It was just like, wow, like you're like, she's just a person, you know. It wasn't like,
it wasn't a facade.
That was the first person I also dated that I was like, this is way out of my level. But then that would happen, I'd be like, you know, we're all human. Like, it wasn't like, it just made it more like, you know, you're normal and you feel normal.
Okay.
I just, and I'm not saying girls, if you don't fart in front of your boyfriend, like, you're just weird. No, like, I get that totally. Because, like, I used to do the same thing that Eddie's talking about. Now, though, Libby will rate me. Like, if I'm burping, I'm, like, pushing now. It's like, I gotta get a 10 to feel good about myself. Oh she'll be like 4.5, and I'm like, God dang it! It's like, oh!
Okay. Did you happen to think of one, Jeremy, at all?
Not really, you know. I mean, not one that you guys haven't covered. Like, I don't know. The older I've gotten, and you know, I've been in a couple pretty long relationships now. I kind of just don't see any of that. It's just like they're gonna be them, and I'm gonna be me, and it's just like, you know, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Adam went bye-bye.
He's still in the call.
Yeah, it's still in the call.
So I'm guessing his phone died?
Nope, there you go.
Shoot. So we're just gonna take a rock, paper, scissors break right now. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You won. Good job.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up? I was here the whole time. Nothing happened.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I just really don't have anything I can really think of at the moment. You know, it's all just, you know, you take that person for who they are rather than like, you know, the things you see.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. I don't understand the makeup thing either. Just be yourself.
You know? Well, I know a lot of times, and I've heard this from many girls, but they put makeup on for themselves more for the guys.
Yeah.
I do feel bad as a man personally. I do feel bad that a lot of times they get all dolled up and like no one says shit about it because most guys are pretty well fucking useless. So
Yeah.
I mean, a couple. Hey, you look nice today. It makes a difference to a lot of different people. So, but I understand the makeup thing. Sometimes they go too far. Absolutely. When you like, no, the other girl, the girl I bought the house for. I had to remember which one it was. She one time wore so much makeup that I had a black shirt on. She gave me a hug, and the entire side of her face was just right there. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, like a painting.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't understand. I know they do it for themselves. Some do it try to get us boys for our naughty parts. But
naughty parts.
PG here.
Hey, this is a Christian podcast.
All right. No. All right.
Don't
enough
come
of that.
into my Christian Minecraft.
Oh God.
No, and I'm not saying like girls are the only ones who do this, because I do it in my own ways too. No, I don't wear makeup, but I'll wear like bigger clothes than necessary, so I feel smaller, or so I'll be like, yeah, this will make people see me as thin, or like, so wear a bandana to cover my big ass forehead, or like something like that. Wear like expensive shoes to be like, he is cool. I don't know what the shoe thing is, but
no, shoes are just cool, honestly.
Right.
Same way.
Yeah.
I love shoes.
Makes
We're
me
talking
feel
about
cool.
shoes now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like,
heels,
shoe
like guys.
Yeah, but like shoes aren't uncomfortable. Like heels, I could get if it was like a cool shoe, but it's not, because never once do I put on like my custom Nike shoes and I'm like, oh, these hurt so bad. I can't. Oh. I'm always like,
gotta
okay,
look good.
I just feel cool. Yeah, exactly. So guys have it too, just in a different way.
But there are some people that take it to that extreme. Like Macklemore, I saw the one time, one of his songs says, I have the shoes to match my outfit. I mean, there's people out there that actually get different colored shoes to match their outfits.
Yeah.
And like
that is
every
a
single
song.
color. So it is a great song too. But
that's a great example, because that song is so much about what we're talking about. How much just like the shoes became who he was, and now he's trying to take them off. Oh, dude, I just got chills. That's such a good song.
it is a good song. So, but alright, the next thing I had, and for any mothers watching out there, you may want to turn to the next insert, but what are some turn-ons or turn-offs for you boys? We'll start with turn-offs, because I think that one's going to be more interesting. And for people who don't know, and I'm sure you do, but a turn-off is like something someone does that instantly puts in your mind like, nah, I don't want that. I'm good. So
yeah.
Turn-offs. So
yeah, turn-offs.
Cherry's like, what's a turn-off?
I only know how to go on.
Nope, that's not true.
Sorry, I'm just kidding. I was kidding. It was a joke.
I don't know. Turn-offs. Boy. People who drag their freaking feet. As weird as that is, like, the people who like scuff their feet along as they walk are.
I used to do that shit all the time.
It's infuriating to me.
Yeah,
like,
I get you.
Oh, like, just pick your feet up or something. I don't know. Wear better fitting shoes.
Maybe tie your shoes.
Something like that. That's just one of those things. It's like that irritates the ever loving fuck out of me. Like,
okay.
Like, I cannot stand it.
All right. How about you, Adam? Or do you have more that grind your gears?
No,
there's gotta be.
Not at the moment. Give me a second, though. Adam, go ahead and talk.
I mean, is it just turn-offs for, like, wanting a relationship, or are we, like, actually getting into, like, because, okay, actually, this applies to both.
Okay.
Just the whole, okay, if you're not, I know parents and stuff don't get this, because I've tried talking to my mom about this, and she's like, I don't understand it. I'm like, neither do I, but it's a thing. The whole, not every guy's gonna agree with me, there's a lot that aren't, but the whole just, the daddy thing is just like, I just can't, dude. It's just like, it's just like, you know, oh, I don't know. It's uncomfortable sometimes.
I am a dad. It's really, really uncomfortable.
Right? It's just like, I don't think I'm ready. Like, it's like, is that what that implies? Like, is that why you call? Like, where did that even come from?
I don't know, man. That's just
that whole thing. Teeth. Oh my gosh, teeth. Please brush your teeth.
God damn it, Stanley.
Because, like, if we're, like, gonna kiss or something, I can't. I brush my teeth every day, twice a day, all the time. I can't. If I can see plaque on your teeth, it's like, even if you breathe in my direction, I'm like, oh God, you're gonna want to kiss me, and I can't. It's just, that's always been a thing, and it makes me super, like, assholey to anybody I'm with, because I'm like, hey, did you brush your teeth today? Like, I become like a parent, but only because, like, it's like a phobia of mine. It's just like, I don't know why.
Okay.
I get it, not everybody has great teeth, but it's just like, ooh.
Okay.
You can have not great teeth and brush them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry.
Do you have to think of one yet, Jeremy, or still nothing for you?
Not that I've been enthralled in Adam's teeth talk.
Okay.
Sorry.
For me, a big one is smoking. And people will probably call me a hypocrite because I vape, but smoking is a completely different thing because of the smell. And it's the smell is why it's such a turn off for me. My dad, and all my stepbrothers, and even my mom now, and my stepdad, they all smoke. And it's not as bad when I go to my mom's house, but like the second I leave my dad's house or a family event with my stepbrothers and stuff like that, all I can smell is cigarette smoke. And to me, it's gross. To others, they probably don't care, but for me, it's pretty gross. So that's a big turnoff for me, because like I don't want to smell like a cigarette all goddamn day, especially if you're gonna be in my house. That's another thing. When I bought my house, they smoked inside and they had pet, so my house smelled like dog shit, cat piss, and cigarette smoke, and then Febreze because they tried to cover it up.
And it still smells like three of them. No, I'm just kidding.
But I think
William.
Definitely smoking is a big turn off for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't really a turn off, but it's something that grinds my gears a little bit. The whole like calling your animals your babies kind of a thing.
Okay.
Not that like I know your pets are, you know, special to you and all that sort of stuff, but they're not your children. You know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah.
Like I understand. Yes, you're close to your pet. You know, you have them for a long time. 99% of the time, you know, like most dogs live to be 8 to 15 years old, somewhere in there. You know, cats live to be 15 or something like that. So I get that, you know, you have them a long time and they're special to you and stuff, but like they're not kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the whole like over pampering a pet is kind of I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It grinds my gears a little bit, and it also is like a why thing. Like why?
Okay.
Like
makes sense.
Like I've known people who spend a lot of money on dog food or cat food, and you know, I know some brands of dog food go up to like, I think it's $80 a bag or something like that.
Yeah.
Like insane. Like why? Or you can get a $15 of dad's choice dog food for you know, for almost nothing. Like
now I will say in that food, sometimes it is the animal.
And
for example,
I
my
do get
fat
that.
little bastard here. I literally bought him a big bag of food that like I thought he'd like. I scoop it in. He'd just there meow at me. Absolutely no interest in it.
This is in it.
And I know that some animals they have to be on certain diets because of genetics or whatever. They're predisposed to be super obese or, you know, have problems digesting certain things or, you know, that sort of stuff I get. But like if you have just a plain old mutt dog, and then you're spending tons of money on their food, like, are you really doing them any better than getting them like decent middle of the road food?
Okay.
That not really anything that like is a turn off. It's just like one of those like why though kind of things, and I've known people that do that. So it's just a weird thing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent a decent bit of money on my cat, and I definitely call him my little baby sometimes. But I like genuinely like I've never like actually referred to him as my fur baby, which I've heard a lot of people do about their pets and stuff. But I've definitely been like, oh, little baby Milo.
No, and that's different. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the former of what you said.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
I've called Stanley my fur baby. Ironically, I think like 3 times.
Yeah, I probably have done that. But...
I don't know. Maybe that's just me being an actual parent before I had my own pets. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But no, I get what you mean. I don't know if that's just women either. Like there's definitely
it's definitely just people in general. I'm not saying anyone in particular. Exactly. I'm not saying just, either sex.
Just a general turn off.
Like it's just like a annoying thing to me, I guess.
Okay.
People who can just up and leave, that's a turn off. Good lord, if I meet you and I found out that you're like, yeah, I just left my family, I just wasn't feeling it, I decided I didn't love them. You're not a real person. You should jump off. No, okay, I'm not gonna get that far, but like, that's something I wish I could get. Definitely a turn off, and I would definitely not want to be in a relationship with someone like that. It's different if it was like, we really tried, but it became unhealthy to the children or to each other. Like, if you're like, actually like, abusive or like, you know, like actually just mentally you're killing each other, like I get that. But like if it's just like I decided I just didn't love them, it's just like.
So boys, on the flip side of that, what is something like you either see from a girl or a guy, your preference, that is like instantly like bam, I'm going for that. It doesn't have to be sexual. It can be, there's plenty of non-sexual things I can think of. But just like in general. And if you need an example, let me know. I have one ready.
Go ahead with an example.
I am a huge sucker for women with blonde hair and blue eyes, and actually green eyes too.
Yeah, I think blue eyes are really, really attractive. I also have blue eyes, so I don't know if that's just me being inclined to.
Interesting. It's like I knew that already.
Oh.
I mean, my kid's got blonde hair and blue eyes.
She's also my niece.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and over the age of 21.
My daughter is
expanding
not...
on. No, I was saying expanding on Eddie's.
Oh, thing. And over. Okay, I get
blonde hair, blue eyes, and over the age of 21.
I don't know.
I'll say that and random like hand holding out of nowhere. Like you're just kind of walking around and all of a sudden your hand's in the grip of someone else's. That's another thing that I'm like, damn.
You're like, oh yeah, you holding my hand, girl?
I don't know. Little things, I guess, are nice.
Okay.
Like little, like, I don't know, like little gestures to the other person.
Okay. Yeah, I can get that. 100%.
Like whether you're, dating or whatever, or just talking or just don't even know the person really, maybe work with them or do something like that. Like a small thing like, hey, I was thinking of you when I saw this thing, got it for you. It was $2 or something like that. Something like that would be very, because that means that they were thinking about you or,
at some point.
They care enough to do something. Ouch. Sophie's biting my foot. Come on, cat. Can you let go? Ow. Speaking of animals,
Whoa, we were talking about women.
No, we were talking about
no,
animals.
I know. I'm
some point.
I'm kidding.
Episode name: We paint Jeremy like an asshole.
Oh, literally every topic.
No, guys, Jeremy is literally actually the nicest person ever.
Nah.
I'm an asshole for sure.
Adam, stop it, man. I don't know. The little things like that I like. Other than that, you know, I like tattoos. I don't have any.
Oh.
You know, in tattoos that mean something, not just tattoos. You know,
I can't show my other 2 tattoos. I don't think the internet would like that.
Please
one of them
don't right now, Eddie.
And then one of them involves pulling up my pants, and the other one involves taking my shirt off. So,
I mean, I'm okay with that.
But I don't know. I like tattoos. I think that they're, you know, especially when they have meaning behind them, or they're.
Oh, absolutely. Like if someone gets like a dumb fucking like Patrick smoking a blunt or something like that, like why? Yeah. Like fucking why?
Yeah. I like Patrick, and I thought it was funny.
But if you get like a tattoo that commemorates someone, like you know, someone in your family's died, or when you lost a friend, or you know, you did this really, you know, important thing, like people with tattoos from the military, like that's, like I understand those, like you know, you become part of a brotherhood or whatever when you do that sort of thing. So that, you know, those are big points in your life. So I get those. Or for children, like if you get a tattoo for your child, you know, those sorts of things I understand, and I think are really, really awesome. But then you know, the random ass tattoos are just like, really, come on, why?
Like, why did you get a dick on your nipple? Like that makes no sense. Like, why would you do?
Right.
The classic.
How about you, Adam? You got anything else, Jeremy?
No, that's pretty much it right now.
Okay. Anything for you, Adam? What's an instant shabam for you?
I mean, things that are always like, I'm always like, wow, they just got 100 times like more attractive to me personally.
Yes.
Singing ability. That, like, if I'm like, yeah, I'm good friends with this person, but you know, like, and then they get on stage and it's like another Beyonce, I'm just like, yeah, God, let's get married. Like, that's fine with me.
Let's have 8 babies.
Yeah. Right now, while you're singing. So singing ability, but like if we're just talking about in person in general, ability to not be like shy, like just be out there, I guess. Because I like, okay. I don't know. As much of a talker as I am, and as much of a need to be center of attention usually as I am, like I like people who can also be crazy. Like I like someone I could randomly skip like insanely high and just like a crazy person through the mall with, and they're not gonna be like, oh my god, babe, stop, like I can't even look at you. Ugh. You know, like I just want to be able to be weird with someone and like not give a crap what anybody else is like. Oh, these guys are okay, it's one of these couples. It's like, who cares, just be nuts. Like I don't know, stuff like that is awesome. So like anybody who like, and I'm not like saying that, like Libby, sometimes I'll be like, hey, come over, say hi to the live stream. She'll be like, and like that, I get, you know, not everybody's like cool just being like let me project myself onto the internet, but or like in front of a crowd of people. I'm not saying like you got to be able to get on stage and, you know, Shakespeare it up, but like just okay. I'm not afraid to be odd or be yourself, or like earlier on the fact of like you don't have to like hide that you're a human. And you can like burp in front of people. Trying to. Understanding, that's a big one, where especially just for my own personal selfish stuff, like if you can understand why I'm so like messed up and have really emotional sides, and you could be like, yeah, or at least say like, yeah, I get that, and I'll support you with it, like that's always meant a lot. Guy or girl, like just anybody who could be like, yeah, no, I get you, man, like no judgment here. If you want to cry about it, like go for it, you know, like isn't just like, oh my god, this guy has issues, what a pussy, like, you know, stuff like that, which I guess just anybody would kind of look for. You don't really want your partner saying things like that. Also, oh god, I'm gonna go on a tangent. You can tell, by the way, I just I like stopped and went, but
yeah. But it's all good. Keep going.
Ability to put me in my place, like people who aren't afraid to shit on me if I am shit. Like people who like not just supportive because you're my significant other or because you're my friend. People who could be realist? Like, yeah, people who could be like, because I always hated. Everybody just wants to be like, oh, Adam, you're so great at art. Adam, you're the best singer ever. Like, that's so not true, though. Like, watch any singing show ever, and then tell me I'm a good singer. Like, maybe for around this area or in this one school, yeah, sure, I can sing. But, like, I'm not, like, don't just be like, oh, Adam, you should do Broadway. No, I should not. Like, me out of 1,000 people, I'm bottom of the line. Like, I'm telling you. Or people who could be like, oh, that wasn't your best work. Like, I know you could do better. I can kind of tell you half-assed it. Like, I love that. I love that so much.
Okay.
So positive criticism, basically, is what
yeah, like, I'm not just saying just shit on me constantly, but, like, if it is shitty, just be like, yeah, it's kind of shitty. And then I'll be like, okay, thank you. Because if all you ever hear all your life is like, wow, you're the best singer ever, then you're going to get this confidence that you are literally, like, Michael Jackson, like, you know?
Okay.
Like, I like to have a genuine representation of what I am. Like, I don't want to think, like, what's happening? Why am I not blowing up on the internet? I'm literally the funniest person ever. I also like to do it to myself. Like, I'll watch stuff back of myself, or I'll look at my own drawings or something like that, and I'll be like, God, like, why are you so terrible? Like,
just, no, I've been there before.
Yeah.
I understand that.
It just keeps you real, I guess. Voice crack.
Also, with that, it also keeps you wanting to improve yourself more.
Yes.
I've noticed it a lot with my woodworking, because I got into turning a few years ago, and when I first started off, I was shit. And, like, I'm watching videos of people, and they're like perfect fucking pieces, and I'm like, why am I so dog shit? And I would fucking chuck the piece I just spent an hour and a half on across the room.
Yeah.
So.
It doesn't work for everyone.
No, it doesn't.
Some people don't do that. Like, it will crush you. But if you are one of those people, I feel like it's healthy in a way to be like, God, I suck at this, so you can get better.
And I think understanding where your downfalls are is a big part of that too. Like, you know, you need to understand, why am I not, you know, why is this turn, you know, when you're doing woodworking, why is it not coming out the way I want it? Like, am I holding the chisel wrong? Am I, you know, moving in the wrong way? Or if my singing would be off, in your case, Adam, like, am I off pitch on a certain note? Am I too nasally? Am I not bringing my voice into my chest more? Like,
definitely.
And I know kind of about both of those, so, like, you know, I have some kind of insight on both of those. But just as examples. But, like, you know, with anything, like, where do my downfalls, like, come from? Like, what makes this thing bad? And that like, introspective view is, I think, important. And I think having somebody there to help you do that sort of thing is important. And I think you're
absolutely right. As an aside, I think that's where a lot of, like, pretentious people get their faults from. No one's ever told them that they're an asshole, so they don't realize that they're an asshole.
Exactly.
Or it's from, you know, they've gotten to a certain point, and then they think, oh, I'm great at everything, and then somebody tells them that they're an asshole. And it's like, too late, too bad, you know what I mean?
Like, if you are an NBA basketball player, and you are an absolute piece of shit, you can be an absolute piece of shit because you are at the highest possible level of being an NBA or a basketball player. And so I get it. Like, if they're shitty, I'm not a fan of it, and I could be like, that guy's a piece of shit. But he's also allowed to be. He's in the NBA. But if you're, like, in the playground and you're garbage, no. Like, if you want to be, if LeBron James wants to be like, I'm literally better than everyone, I could be like, that's shitty, but yeah, you are.
I mean,
but like, if some kid on the playground just eats shit trying to dunk on somebody, he's like, yeah, you guys all suck. I'm gonna be like, okay, you're just stupid. Like, because you're garbage.
That's a little different there, Adam.
As another aside, if you're having problems turning wood, sharpen your tools. That's typically the cause of it. That's why it's so dog shit. I did it with dull tools for like a year, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? The second I sharpened it, it was a million times better. But sorry, a little wood nerd for me.
And if you're a parent, I would say don't like initiate this in your children until they're probably like over 18. Don't be like, if your like 5-year-old comes up to you with a crayon drawing, don't be like, well, that's dog shit. Go do better.
Well,
like,
I think, you know, teenage years, early teenage years are when people start to really develop certain things. So
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
you need to have that positive and negative reinforcement in somebody's life. You know, yes, encourage them that they're doing something, you know, different or new if they pick up a hobby or something like that, but also like help them improve. Don't just tell them they're great all the time. You know,
Gary V, if you guys have ever heard of him. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Gary V, if you guys have ever heard of him, he was talking about this on a podcast where I think it's his daughter or something really loves basketball. He refuses, and he was telling Joe Rogan all about this. He refuses to let her score on him. Like, he will not let it happen. He was like, no way! And Joe Rogan was like, well, I mean, you could like let her at least get a couple more. He's like, no! Because I do not want her growing up thinking that, like, oh, yeah, I could score, like, I'm awesome. He's like, no, I want her to work hard as shit so she is the best. So when she scores on me, she's scoring on me. I'm not just like, hey, there you go, sweetheart. He's like, no way. If I can get up in her face and smack that ball out of there, I'm doing it every single time. And he's like, how old's your daughter? He's like, I don't know, like 5, 6. He's like, oh, my gosh. He's like, no. He's like, I want her to feel good about being good. I don't want it to just be like, dad's letting me do it, which I kind of get a little bit of both.
Okay,
like,
yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that, you know, you work towards that goal, and then that goal should be like a euphoric moment, like, yeah, I did it. So, you know, like, if you're, like what you said, like, if that little girl is working towards being a really good basketball player, and all of a sudden, you know, one day out of the blue, she's able to, you know, dunk on her dad, or, you know, whatever, you know, that should be, like, a big moment. It shouldn't be like, oh, I've already done it before, now it's like, am I really good, or is he still letting me? You know, one of those kind of things. So, like, I get that, but I also get, like, kids do need, like,
a little bit of positive.
Yeah, like, they need to have that encouragement. It can't be like, for forever, I've always been garbage against my dad, and therefore I think I'm garbage in general, whether, you know, they be awesome at what they're doing compared to other people their age, but garbage against, you know,
a full-grown adult.
A man, a full-grown man.
Exactly.
Like, come
on. Yeah.
You know, so I see both sides.
All right,
but
boys.
like, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
It's not like he just did that. Like, his older brother did that, and he acclaims him being a great basketball player now to his brother. He's like, he was like, I love basketball. We could go on the court right now. I will destroy you, Joe Rogan. He's like, oh, really? He's like, I'm telling you, I will take it down, I will shoot it in your face, and I will make it every time. And it's only because my brother never, ever let me score on him until I was 18 years old. I was like, oh, okay, like, I get it. All right, sorry, continue.
I was going to take a 180 to go back to girls, so.
Oh, yeah.
We kind of...
We got off into a tangent, but I think that's what people love about this podcast, so.
Right, yeah, definitely.
So, as I'm sure you boys have heard, and I'm sure many have heard, shooting your shot. For those who don't know, that's when you like another person and you decide that, hey, I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna take a risk and see what's going on. Now, do you think shooting your shot is a good thing, or do you think sometimes it'd be better off just to leave it where it be?
Yes and no to that.
Okay.
I think everything's situational when it comes to that sort of stuff, for sure.
Okay.
So, like, you kind of have to judge, like, is this gonna lead to where I want it to lead?
Okay.
Or have I misread things? Back to a couple episodes ago when we did talk about
the friend zone
and stuff like that. Like, is this really what I want to happen, or is this just, you know, me, like, being primordial with my instincts, like I need to mate kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I think yes, people should be a little more willing to make risks or take risks and, you know, see where things end up, but also, like, you know, be prepared for what the outcome is. Whether it's what you want or not, like, you need to be willing to accept whatever happens. Right, exactly. You know, so, like, if you like a girl or you like a guy and, you know, you're like, hey, I like you, do you want to go out sometime? Without any like preliminary thoughts to it, like, or like building up to that moment, like, is that right or not? Like, should you maybe talk to them and do that sort of stuff and like kind of build your way up to that conversation first, or are you just like jumping in head first, you know, do or die kind of a situation?
And as an aside, I think that's where the term fuckboy comes from, because a lot of times there's guys that just go right to it and they're gonna say vulgar stuff. Like, honestly, why would you even start with that? First off, your game is weak. But I think that's where the term fuckboy comes from. People who just shoot their shot with whatever the fuck comes to their mouth. So that was just an aside. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Eddie just roasted people.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a term for it for a reason. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's annoying.
I don't know. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, think it through first, I guess, is like a good thing. Like, yes, take that jump if you feel the time is right and you know you think it's a good time and everything is kind of seeming to work out the way you want it to. Take that jump, take that leap of faith, but don't do it too soon. You know what I mean? Like, don't, like, oh, hey, I met you 3 days ago, you want to, you know,
get married?
Yeah,
or
like,
do it too late either.
Right, there's also that part too. It's like, you know, if you don't take the jump, like, are you gonna be,
like, if you wait 8 years or something like that?
Right. Like, where does that middle ground lie is always people's issue with reading situations. So I agree. I think it's hard. I think it's just, love's just not easy. Relationships aren't easy. Going back to a couple episodes ago, they just suck. It's hard. Yeah. Everything's hard.
And I mean, I feel like if we had women in here right now, they would probably give a lot more solid, a lot better advice, because it is very much the social norm for the guys to be the initiator type. And usually girls know more about it. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying you specifically, Jeremy, because I feel like you're pretty good at all this stuff, and same with you, Eddie. But, like, guys generally are usually the clueless ones. Usually we're like, yeah. So, like, if you're listening out there and you're a dude and you're maybe younger than us or around the same age as us, don't know about a bunch about girls, just, you know, like,
just talk to them.
Do what we're doing. Just play it and see what happens. Like, don't take anything that I say. I know for sure don't take anything I say by, like, heart. Be like, that's what you got to do, because I have no clue.
We're all figuring it out, too. It's a process.
All us bad.
Well, it's funny you said about the first move, because that was my next topic, actually. Now, I've seen a lot of things on TikTok of, like, girls, like, they just ask questions and they ask guys to edit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the ones I see 90% of the time is, do you care if the girl makes the first move?
No.
Okay.
No. Like, who cares?
Well, I know, and it's another generational thing, tapping back to episode 5, a lot of men, I think back in the day, would have felt emasculated if they didn't make the first move on a girl. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, that was 5.
4 was relationships. Got it written down.
No, 5 was generational.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about relationships. Oops.
No, well, like I said, I think the older generations would be almost appalled if a woman came onto them first. Because I know, and this is going to get a little dicey here, but back in the day, I think women that made the first move were considered hussies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a norm back then. But I feel like now, yeah, it doesn't matter. If you guys like each other and she makes a first move, fuck yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think... Go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
I think guys need to screw off about their masculinity. It's 2020. We're all dying. Let's just love each other.
We're all in lockdown.
No, for real. Like, yeah, we're all for real though. Like, I honestly, again, back onto like the turn on thing. I would kind of be like into it if a girl makes the first move and they're like, "Hey, you want to go out?" I'm gonna be like, "Well, yeah." I'm not gonna be like, "Ew, oh, I'm such a woman, ew." You know, like, I definitely agree that, like, if you go back, I don't know how many years, but people probably would have been like, oh, this is wrong. Like, oh, your girl asked you out, oh! Nowadays, I feel like it's just like, oh, you got a girl, nice.
Do you think maybe we just kind of just don't give a shit anymore? We're just... And I'm gonna use a term here that doesn't mean what it actually means, and I say this a lot. I'm just trying to see the whole titty. And what that means is I'm just trying to see the whole picture of life. So, do you think it's kind of more that mentality?
Episode name.
No.
Just trying to see the whole titty.
No.
Trying to see the whole titty.
YouTube won't like that. I think people are just like, who cares? Like, anymore. It's just, I don't think it's like, that anybody has that social pressure anymore that, like, yes, men make the first move, men ask women to marry them, that sort of thing anymore, because it's just like, if you like each other and the guy's shy and the girl's not, then who cares? She'll ask you out,
Yep.
And I think people should stop expecting men to make the first move, because I don't know, I've known a bunch of people that are like, yeah, I like him and stuff, but he hasn't asked me out yet. So, like, then ask him out. What the hell's the problem? Like, just go talk to them. Go, do they want to go out to a movie? Do they want to go out to dinner? Do they, want to do any of a million different things? Who cares? Just say, or don't even make it a date. Just say, hey, we're going. Yeah,
I think you're cute. You want to go hang out?
Yeah, or
That was you, Jeremy.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, I love it.
But me and a couple of my friends are going, canoeing. Do you want to come with us? That's, or any other of a ton of different things. Those could be not even just a date, just like a way to further whatever it is that you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
And shoot your shot, but don't. Yeah, like, shoot your shot, but don't make it a shot. Just, like, kind of toss a rock and see how the water ripples. You know what I mean?
I love that. That's got to be our first T-shirt. Toss a rock, see how the water ripples. Dang insane. Yeah, back to like. Yeah, back to like the whole like making the first move thing. Like, it honestly. Oh boy, where was I gonna go with this? This is again a big step to have in the water. In terms of holy wow, I really lost everything. What was the last topic right before this? Because it connected into it.
It was shooting your shot.
Yeah. Okay. Back into the whole shooting your shot thing, because not, like as I was younger, it was a lot easier for me to be. Younger, I'm talking like 2 years ago. It was a lot easier for me to be the guy who was like initiating everything, and I would catch it before the girl would even have a chance to, because I was such a love forward person. I was just like, oh, this girl's cute. I could tell I'm usually pretty good at that too. I mean, I'm not trying to be that, but I usually can get a good sense, and I don't make any scary jumps, so it was never hard for me because it was never scary, because I always was pretty confident that it was going to go well.
Okay.
And if I wasn't, then I would just not at all. So as I've gotten older and I've gotten hurt more, it's become harder for me to ever be the guy to initiate anything or the one who's like, hey. So, like, even as just an example to make people not feel as weird, this relationship I'm in now, Libby basically asked me out because every woman, any woman listening to this is going to hate me. Every woman, that's a t-shirt because it's bad grammar. Libby and I talked for like 11 months. And she'd kind of casually done the like thing that women do with marriage, like, hey, you maybe want to like date at some point, and I'm like, yeah, but my heart is hurtful, ow. And so then eventually she went to my friend. She was like, hey, Adam's friend, I don't know what to do. And Adam's friend was like, just talk to him, like really just make the move. And she was like, hey, do you like want to date? And I was like, it's unfair at this point to her because like I'm just a dick. I was like, yeah, so, like, don't feel weird out there. I mean, I know you guys all look at me as the epitome of masculinity. No, but, like, just don't feel weird about it, because it really isn't that odd. Like, when she said that, I wasn't like, oh, gross. I was like, yeah. So it's not, I do think it should be a more normal thing. I feel like I'm talking so much tonight, I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's
a podcast. Talk.
True.
Like, I'll say this. My last relationship, she initiated. She was...
Same.
She and I worked together, and she one day just messaged me, and we started talking, and then, one thing led to another, and then we dated for 2 years, but, who cares? Like, even just that little of a... it was like a hey, how are you doing? It wasn't like anything more than just a hello. And, so that can be your shot. It doesn't have to be a, hey, do you want to go out? Like, it's
yeah.
like, just be a person and be friendly.
Another thing I think a lot of people overlook, and I don't know why it popped in my head like this, but I mean, to have a girlfriend is to have a girl who's a friend. So you need to be friends with someone before you can like just go full bore in.
Yeah, for sure.
So
there's definitely stages to a relationship. There is not like
we're dating now.
Yeah, it's not like, oh hey, I met you 2 days ago. We're dating. It's and there's difference. And I'll say this, and I always say it, and people don't like it. There's a difference between dating and being together. There's a difference.
Oh, absolutely.
There is the dating stage of a relationship where you go on dates and that's when you interact. It's not like, you're together and they come over to your house all the time, or you go over to theirs, or, whatever, and you just kind of hang out.
Or they sleep in the same bed.
Right. But, there are definitely stages, like the dating stage is the early stage of a relationship where, like, you're still getting to know each other, you're going out, you're, finding out their interests, like all those sort of things. So, like, there's definitely a difference between those two.
Which, I have a funny story here. It's about interest. It sparked it for some reason. But I was out on a date with your sister, and we were at Eden Park. And there was a table behind us with 2 guys and 2 girls. And the girls were completely silent, but all the guys were talking about was Fortnite. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You have 2 beautiful women sitting right in front of you, and all you're fucking talking about is how you got stuck in the tree and ended up winning because they died in the storm. I'm like, I ought to beat both of you.
Oh my god!
And I think it was one of those things. I was sitting there talking to my girlfriend, and I hear, I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I built a ramp up into the tree and they destroyed the ramp. I'm like, I want to fucking die.
Like, talk about that in 2 hours when your date's over.
When you're on Fortnite with your friend.
Right, like, oh my god.
Oh, that describes our generation right there.
Just talk to the girl. Like, find out what they like.
I love it. Oh, I love it so
And if you don't like it, then that's okay. Be interested in their interests, Like,
yeah.
There's lots of things that you're not gonna like that the other person is. Like, I'll tell you how many people I know that like Rubik's Cubes other than me. Zilch.
I mean, I don't mind them. I just get infuriated when you take 30 seconds to fucking figure one out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there for like 10 minutes, like fuck.
Yeah, and I'm in the corner peeling off the stickers and putting them back on.
But like, I'll probably never find another girl that can solve them. Like, who the fuck cares? You know, like, you like your own things, they like their own. Find out what they are. Be interested for them. You know what I mean? Like,
and honestly, pro tip: if you show interest in their interests, it'll mean the world to them.
Really? Yeah, it will.
Get this, guys. Here, another pro tip. It's really not that hard. Like, if somebody goes, "Hey, like, I'm really interested in this," just go like. Look at, like, I'm not saying, like, if they're like, I'm into James Charles makeup, I'm not saying, like, go try it on. But if they're like, this is a really cool TV show, me and my friend watch it, I've done this, and it really does, you know, get, like, you a lot closer. Just go watch a TV show, don't tell them, and then just, like, next time they'll talk about it, be like, oh, yeah, and then, like, that guy comes over, and then they'll be like, oh, my gosh, wow, you know, like, it really, I agree with both of you. That's seriously a thing.
It's kind of sad in a way to think that little shit like that makes a woman so happy.
Makes a dude so happy too, man.
Well, yeah, like, but it's more prevalent in women though.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. Like, I like these kit things, and you know, and other model making things like that, and you know, anytime I was with blank, you know, I would ask, you know, like, oh, I'm going to do this thing. And they'd be like, oh, cool. Like, so what do you do? How do you do it? You know, that sort of stuff. Like, that's not only like, oh, they actually care, but it's like they're taking an interest in the things that I like. Mm-hmm. Like, my last relationship, she got me a 3D printer for my birthday. Like, and I had talked about it for forever. Like, I was going to order something online. It was 3D printed. And, you know, just because... And then she got me one, and then, you know, I printed on it every single day for like a year. And, you know, she was interested the whole time. So that was, you know, supportive to me.
Oh, absolutely.
Just as much as, you know, you could do the same thing for a woman.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think it goes both ways, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It just does make guys look shitty that, like,
they don't take any interest. Yeah. They're just like enveloped in their own world.
You talk about Fortnite cool. While you're on a date.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's cool. Want to take your shirt off? You know, like, yeah. Don't Unless they're into Fortnite too, and it's just you guys, and if you guys want to go back and forth about Fortnite, go for it.
But I could tell that they did not give two shits about Fortnite.
Yeah, I can say they're, yeah. A lot of times, probably not. Sometimes, maybe. If they bring it up, then go for it. But other than that,
anyways. Alright, boys, I think we're going to wrap it up. But first, we have to do everyone's favorite part of the podcast, Fat Boy Corner.
Yeah! Skinny Boy Central.
Skinny... So, this one's kind of a weird one, and I don't know how much you two actually go to this one. I know I go to a lot because it's right up the hill for me. But, Subway.
Easy. Yeah, Subway's great, though. Okay, so, footlong on Italian bread. It's not an actual name one. This is just always what I get. Footlong, Italian bread, ham, bacon, American cheese, lettuce, pickles, ranch, and then ranch again. Like, literally just great. So, like, basically, if you guys forget this too, if you go there and there's the menu of stuff like, get this if you want to be healthy, get this if you're a piece of shit. Just get everything on the piece of shit menu, like the stuff that's like, don't get this if you're trying to lose weight. Just get all of it because, like, it tastes the best. It's like, don't put bacon, don't put ranch, don't put this kind of cheese. Just everything.
Okay.
Toasted.
Okay.
Toasted for sure, too, also.
Did you say American cheese?
Delicious. Yeah, American cheese, Italian bread. Yeah.
Okay. Do you get any chips that you get there or anything like that?
I get the cookies more than the chips.
Okay, any favorite
cookies are... just the regular chocolate chip. I know that's kind of boring. Like, I've had all of them there, but the regular chocolate chip just hit different. I think it's because I got into the mood as a kid, like or not the mood, the like habit of it as a kid. So it's just always like the same specialness.
All right. What about you, Jeremy?
I get the sweet onion teriyaki chicken sub thing. I think that's what it is. I get that on flatbread almost always. Okay. And then I get it with pepper jack cheese, and then onions, pickles, and banana peppers, and then more of the sweet onion sauce on it. I don't normally get chips or anything. Maybe a drink there if I do get anything. Like, most of the time it's just like, oh, Subway to go, see ya. And it would just be like a fountain drink is what I would get if I got a drink. But
okay.
And I think I've only ever had the chocolate chip cookies and then the white chocolate macadamia nut ones. Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had those, and they're both good, but...
Looks like somebody's getting a cookie platter here pretty quick.
Oh, yeah!
Do they have red velvet cookies? Is that right?
They did at one point.
I think I had...
They don't anymore.
I think I had those, because there used to be one in my town.
Which that one was
7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I was in high school when that was there. And then they closed just because.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was down by the dollar store here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when the last time I had Subway was. 2 years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That doesn't make me feel good.
Well, I don't live close to one anymore. I don't work close to one at all. It's like 20 minutes from my work.
You do drive by one, though.
I do, but like at 5 in the morning, I can't stop at Subway and get food. And then on my way home, it's like I am desperate to get home and take my boots off from work.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Same.
Then.
Like I am desperate to either A, shower, B, eat some real food other than the small pack lunch I take with me, or the very greasy fast food that I eat on lunch break. But other than that, I don't think I've had Subway in a long time, man.
Well, looks like you're getting a care package tomorrow.
Would not be opposed.
What, Stan? Why are you looking crazy right now? Let me finish the episode, then you can be crazy, all right? For me, it's easy claps. Pepperoni meatball on Italian.
Meatball. All right.
I know
pepper
that.
jack and provolone, toasted with onions on it while it's toasted, and then black pepper. Easy claps, and then garden salsa sun chips, because like Subway's the only place I can ever fucking find them.
Mini Mart here in town has them.
I'm not over that way very often, so.
Sometimes you are.
Well, I am every morning, but I'm trying to get shit done because I'm at work.
I know.
But
I'm kidding.
But and another one, a close second, and it's only a seasonal. Is they had a smokehouse barbecue brisket.
Ooh.
Holy fuck, was that good?
Speaking of which, have all of y'all ever had Firehouse subs?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so their brisket, their smokehouse brisket.
Nah, pastrami dog.
Ooh. Okay.
See, I worked in a deli, and we made deli sandwiches, and I'm not a pastrami guy.
I am, absolutely.
I'm not a pastrami, and I'm not like a corned beef guy. Like, Reubens are good, but like, I don't know.
See, I like corned beef. I don't like Reubens though. I don't like that. I don't like rye bread whatsoever. And only place you can get a Reuben is with rye bread.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
But yeah. So.
Yep.
I thank you all for listening again. It was a bit scattered. I think we got around to it in the end though. So.
My mic is coming. So next episode, we all won't sound like shit.
Let's hope at least.
Oh God.
Like I said, I want to thank you. If you enjoy, leave a like, do whatever, drop a comment. You want something us to talk about something? Get a hold of us. Socials are on the screen. So, have a good night, morning, evening / afternoon. Peace.